Hey everybody, how y'all doing today, man? It's your main man, E.T. Pug. So let's talk about it. So basically, we got our answers from Nintendo Switch, and I'm gonna break down Doug Bowser, Nintendo Switch, live service versus $80 to $100 game. So let's get it started. First of all, you gotta think how ironic it is that that the person said that Nintendo is having its Xbox moment by Doug Bowser. Think about it. Bowser, you put the two correlations. The villain off of Mario is like Doug Bowser, American businessman. So that's one thing that make it so funny. So basically, Nintendo's having their Xbox One moment when they say, hey, if you can't afford to buy, the Nintendo Switch 2, you can always, keep one. Now remember, the Xbox One says it's gonna be online mode only. Remember that moment? And old buddy said, hey, if you don't have the money, you can always keep playing the 360. So basically, Nintendo's having its 360 moments with its $80 game going to $100 basically, right? So think about this. Put this in perspective. The regular Switch, Nintendo Switch 2 console costs $445, right? So the bundle costs $500, right? So guess how much Mario Kart really costs? Guess how much Mario Kart really costs? $50, right? But they selling it as an $80 game, in the hard copy $90. And then on the C button, you have to look. When I look at the Nintendo Switch C button, you got to pay for it. All I look at it as cash or credit. That's all I look at, cash or credit for the C button, because you got to think about it. In order to use the button, you got to pay for it, right? So cash or credit, you take your pick. It's just sad when you think about it, because the Nintendo Switch 2 is like the PlayStation Pro 4. And I don't think Sony and Microsoft thinking like, yeah, we can raise our games up to $90, $80 to $100. Nah, Playboy. Sony and Microsoft starting to look at the pitch like, nah, we better just stick it to the regular, because they gonna stick it to our ass strongly. So Nintendo, basically, they the Disney of gaming. Surely is. Nintendo is the Disney of gaming. They flying too close to the sun. Because you got to think about it, bro. How you going to beat the top 15? You ain't going to beat Roblox, Fortnite, GTA. Like, come on. Minecraft? You think your $80 to $100 game going to beat Fortnite? Now keep in mind, only 12% of gamers play exclusive games. So think about that, 12%. So there's 100% of gamers, right? So take 12% play exclusive. Do you know how much that is? There's no need for me to even say something. Do you know how much pi equal? Who knows 314? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Like, you think your $80 to $100 game is gonna compete with Fortnite? Like, the most you gonna get, see. But you guys, and another thing, the reason why the pre-orders being delayed in the U.S. and in Canada is because simple fact, Canada put $100 tariff on China, so China like, you know what? Well, we're gonna delay your pre-order. It's when you really think about it, it's so goddamn childish. It's so damn childish when you think about it. You're like, well, we not. So America put tariff on China. Here go China. Well, we're not gonna play your movies in our theater. Like, and we're gonna delay your pre-orders for video game. Like, bro, wait. So basically, that let us know you just being petty, right? So that's what's going on with the delays. I mean, like, what the hell? Like, and all in all, you gotta think, and these content creators talking about, like, hey, it doesn't matter. You know what? It doesn't matter to them because they went to the Nintendo Switch 2 direct they gonna get their free Switch 2 regardless of what you talking about, how you feel, and they gonna get their games for free. And if they don't get their games for free, guess what? They gonna use their LLC and write it off as a business expense. But and they're gonna use the membership and have you guys buying coffee, which you guys really don't understand how things go. So basically, watch the YouTubers who always like, Reforged Gaming. And now the Sony fans getting mad. Remember PlayStation 5 put the games up to $70. So Sony fans, stop it. You know what I'm saying? I got a PlayStation and an Xbox. But Nintendo just smoking crack. And my biggest conundrum is, I want to get the Switch 2 for a review. You know how I can get millions of subscribers just by doing a review of the Switch 2. The only game I see that's interested is Donkey Kong. That's it, Playboy. I don't want to waste the money, but this is a great business opportunity for me. So, in order to increase my fan base, I may have to go ahead and buy that boy straight up. Or I'll probably get it for free. Wink, wink. I'm like, well, guys, it's here. Nintendo gave me it for free. I wasn't gonna buy this shit. So I'm not paying no membership, but I activated. Oh, I gotta pay $10 for an update? Okay, $10 for the membership. Oh, I can't. Oh, this is not backwards compatibility. Oh, my Mortal Kombat don't work backwards. What about my Street Fighter? What about my Digimon game? Oh, none of that work back. Oh, okay. Alright, whatever makes you, whatever rocks your boat. Cause it's funny, I see Reforged TV out, like, here go Reforged. Games is gonna get expensive. First of all, the market is saturated. Do you know how many first of all, do you know how many video games are out here in the beginning? Think about that. Do you know how many video games out here versus we got free to plays, live service? Think about that versus your $80 to $100 game. Make that make sense. It doesn't.